Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today, we're getting our caffeine fix with an extra shot of Coffee Snob. We're talking about Viridian Coffee in Duncan, Oklahoma. I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
You're kind of okay, if you're a coffee snob, I'm a coffee snub because I snub the fancy stuff. I can drink a 7-Eleven as easy as I can a McCafe. But you won't drink a McCafe unless it's in an emergency situation.
I like the taste of good coffee.
Okay. I mean, I don't see. I love the smell of coffee. I think I like the smell more than the taste. So it's hard to. I don't know. It's hard to. I can't determine what if I'm smelling something that's good or bad. I don't drink near as much coffee as I used to. I
will say, if we just take a quick peek back at our last 50 episodes,
yes,
we have discussed on more than one occasion that it is exceedingly difficult to find a good cup of coffee. And over the last couple of weeks, we have found more than one place that kicks out exceptional coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And I am super pumped on the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah, but you're looking for a good cup of coffee at a place that prides itself on an onion burger.
No, I'm not. No, I get that. I get where you're going. You're going back to the Hamburger King and
a lot of things. I'm going back to a lot of different in the annals of history. You looking for a good cup of coffee in a population town of 50.
No, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
But I get there's an art to it, to having the vast array of coffee that you can get at a nice coffee house. I get that. But making a good cup of coffee is not difficult, and it is oftentimes you can't find just a decent brewed cup of coffee.
You were looking for a place that cooks hamburgers and fried eggs on a griddle. You're telling me I think you made a point to say they could easily have an espresso machine.
Yes, and I agree with that. But at the end of the day, if you could just clean the pot and use some good fresh grounds to make
an actual
coffee.
Soap and not just hot water.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. But I also think after some of the travels that you and I have went on in the past few weeks, it's obvious that we can, in fact, make good coffee in the state of Oklahoma.
And not pay $6 a cup.
Yes, I mean...
I mean, you're going to pay. You're going to pay a little bit, right?
You are going to pay a little bit more for an espresso-based drink versus a brewed cup. You should, anyway.
Right, yeah, you should. Absolutely. There's more work. I think there's more work and time that goes into the drip.
More work,
right?
More equipment costs.
Yeah.
And then you've got all your flavors and things of that nature, which add additional cost versus, brewing a cup of Folgers.
Well, I think we can settle the argument over Viridian Coffee. Well, we've got Heather Wheeler from Viridian Coffee that's going to settle the debate coming up next. I think I've almost got a handle on my tax situation. I haven't determined if I'm going to pay. I think that's it's going to come down to a coin flip. No, I'm going to pay. I think I figured it out. But
I think the IRS will always ensure that you pay.
They're not. Are they going to audit a guy that delivers food for a living?
Well,
I doubt it.
I do believe that there's a way for you to find that out, and we might have discussed it in a previous episode.
Right.
But a perfect way for you to find out what your tax situation is to call Holliday Tax Group for a free 30-minute consultation.
Right.
And the number to do that is 405-730-3100.
And if you're military personnel
or a teacher,
you're going to get 20% off.
Right, and that is Holliday Tax Group, and they can be found on the internets at holidaytaxgroup.com, and the Holiday has two L's. Joining us today, we have Heather Wheeler. She's the general manager for the Lawton locations of Viridian Coffee. Heather, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
We stumbled across Viridian Coffee on a trip to Duncan and just fell in love with the place. How exactly did Viridian Coffee come to be?
Well, it's kind of an interesting story. Our owners, Shay and Lindsay Hayes, started Viridian Coffee in 2016. It was meant to just be kind of a hobby for them. They really fell in love with good coffee. Everyone knows that's kind of hard to come by in Southwest Oklahoma. So rather than leaving the area, they really wanted to stay, and they decided to just kind of bring a culture change to Southwest Oklahoma. They wanted to bring good coffee, fresh, locally roasted coffee that is, like I said, hard to come by in this area. And another thing that is just missing from the culture here in a lot of ways is great customer service, and just the relationship with people and the culture that coffee houses bring, and people that just come to gather here and they bring their friends and their family here, and they create relationships with the team and the people that work for Viridian. So they really love that aspect of the coffee house. So they started out, like I said, roasting coffee as a hobby. They really just wanted good coffee to drink. And then people started asking for other things, like they wanted to buy the coffee. They wanted to be able to get a cup of coffee. And then they started asking for things like lattes and frappes, and which Shay and Lindsay didn't really know anything about. So it was a big learning curve for them. Right. They had never roasted coffee before. They both had full-time jobs when they bought their roaster, so they were just kind of doing it in the evenings, learning. Shay actually used YouTube to learn how to roast coffee. So they eventually got it figured out, and they finally had good coffee to drink, and then they started selling coffee. And then they started out at farmers markets, so they would travel around and bring their trailer to farmers markets and open it up and sell pounds of coffee, sell cups of coffee. And we have a lot of guests that have been with us since the very beginning at farmers markets. And it's been really awesome to hear stories about how much has changed and how much they love being a part of the Viridian story since the very beginning. That started in January of 2016. In the summer of 2017, they opened the Duncan Cafe and the Cash Road location in Lawton. And then once that took off, we opened the 2nd Street location in December of 2018. And we are planning on opening a location in Chickasha in May of this year.
I'm actually in Chickasha, and I've heard the rumors, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, thank you. We're excited to be joining a new community, and Chickasha has been super welcoming. We've gotten a lot of great feedback, and we're really excited for it.
Awesome. So, do you guys roast all of your own coffee beans in-house? Is that, or was that just kind of the start? Oh, you do? Okay.
So we roasted all of our own coffee. Shay started out, and we've had a couple of roasters kind of come through and add value and learn the craft. Shay has been able to teach a lot of people about coffee in the roastery and outside of the roastery, just baristas and team members. He's been able to share all of his coffee knowledge with a lot of people. So we have a roastery and a bakery that's actually located across the street from the Duncan Coffee House. And that's where all of our coffee is roasted and all of our baked goods and things like that are made.
Awesome. So while we were there, we noticed that the Duncan location had a small stage set up in the corner. Is that something that's universal among the Viridian Coffee locations? And what happens there in that corner with the chair and the guitar, that sort of thing?
Right. In Duncan, they've been doing it kind of since the very beginning. I think at their grand opening, we actually had someone come in and sing and kind of perform. So that was a big thing. And what the stage is used for now, actually our chief roaster, Shade Bean, runs open mic night once a month. So he sets that up and he has people come in and sign up and get up on stage and sing, and he gets up there and plays the guitar and sings. So it's a really awesome community event. We do an open mic night and a game night every month, and Shade Bean runs those. And we're actually working on getting that started in Lawton at 2nd Street. We haven't been able to really get it off the ground yet, but we're actually doing our first game night this week, and then we'll do our first open mic night next month.
It seemed like a really fun atmosphere. It was very welcoming. One of the things that I liked was there was plenty of reading material, and it seemed to be universally available to whoever wanted to access it. And everybody was super friendly, so I'm super pumped on what you guys are doing and the effort that you're making in hiring the right people, the people with customer service skills. It seems like you're doing a really good job.
Well, thank you. We really try and share the idea of Viridian Coffee. Our mission statement is to build community and culture around a great cup of coffee. So like I said before, we want to build a culture around great coffee and relationship, and we want to be as involved in the community as possible. And so that we really try and look for people that are bought into that idea and they really want to be a part of that with us.
So your Chickasha location, how far off is that before you guys break ground on that one?
We are currently in the process right now. We're moving pretty fast. We've got a lot to do, but we will be open by the end of May. So we have some work to do on the building, and then we need to start doing hiring and training, but we'll be ready to go by the end of May.
So, Heather, as far as I'm a huge coffee addict, I think is probably the best way to put it. So I'm super pumped on everything that you do. But what is the best way for people to learn more, to find the location nearest them, find your hours, and that sort of thing?
Sure. So we can be found on Google, any search engine that you use. We have a Facebook account for each of our locations. So we have Duncan Facebook account and then one for each Lawton location. We have an Instagram, and then of course we have our website, viridiancoffee.com, that has all of our locations on it, all of our contact information, and then our fresh locally roasted coffee is included on the website. So plenty of options.
Awesome. Well, Heather, I really want to thank you for coming on the show today. It's really exciting that we're getting something that's considered, I don't even know the best word for it, but a little highbrow for the area, I think. And I'm really pumped on what you guys are doing.
Yeah, we're really excited, and I really appreciate you having me.
Okay, so do you feel like you got a quality cup of Joe from Viridian Coffee?
Dude, their coffee is good.
Are you sold on it?
I 100% am. They do a great job. The thing that I love most about walking into that Viridian Coffee was they had very happy, enthusiastic people working behind the counter.
That does a lot for me. That I can drink or eat something that's even mediocre, but if the staff is enthusiastic, if the place is clean, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things. I have a sliding scale. It probably makes me seem like I'm obsessive compulsive, but a smiling face will do a lot for me.
Absolutely. And I think in general, that is normal across the board. I think most people, their enjoyment of any particular activity is going to be impacted by the people that they're interacting with while doing it.
Right. There is a place that begins with Mick and ends with Arnold's that you can tell on their faces they don't really enjoy what they do. And maybe I'm getting my coffee at the wrong place.
I think that may be the case. But no, I'm super excited. Love that they're moving to my hometown.
Oh, my goodness.
Or they're bringing a location to my hometown.
What are you going to do? Are you going to be the guy that are you going to be the coffee camper that out there on the sidewalk with a little pup tent?
Well, one of the things that I will definitely enjoy is not having to drive 45 minutes for a cup of coffee.
I could see you probably drinking more Viridian than even, the Covington Cafe in here.
I could probably see myself drinking more Viridian coffee than the owners and operators of Viridian Coffee.
Okay, but in all seriousness, by comparison, when you stack it up to the big guys, where would you put it price-wise, quality? Be honest. I mean, you've had your fair share of the corporate coffee.
I have, and we won't throw shade at the competitors, but it's very reasonably priced.
Right.
It is rock solid coffee, and if they can get similar employees with the similar attitude that they have in Duncan, working in Chickasha, I think it's going to go off like gangbusters.
I think they need employees like Chick-fil-A. Just nice, super friendly, constantly giving out free cups of coffee, something like that. No?
I don't know. Like I said, if they have a similar group of people that they have in Duncan, I think you're not going to find better customer service.
Not casting shade at our home office here. We are in the tallest building in town, at the very top floor, behind two locked doors that you have to have two keys for. So don't try anything funny. But I almost kind of feel like you've said it more than once. If they can get quality employees, it's almost to say that that's kind of a an issue in some places around these parts.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I am going to say that I was so impressed with the employees at the Duncan location that it would be difficult to go out and find people like that.
Right.
I think there's some sort of recruiting that they're doing that is beyond me. The people were super excited, super happy, super friendly.
I mean, heaven forbid you enjoy your job. I mean, you're occasionally going to get a turd that walks through the door. You know what I mean? That's just part of customer service and at any level of that.
I think it's
industry.
probably
Yeah.
one of the biggest struggles of running a customer service based company.
Yeah. You can't
I mean,
please. Not everybody's going to be happy.
You and I don't have to be happy.
No, we don't.
Sometimes I don't like you.
This is well documented.
And when you ask me for a cup of coffee, I tell you to pound sand.
You do.
So
You do. So
we don't have the same trials and tribulations that a service company has.
But you're more wizened. You know, you're a little bit more experienced. You've been around 40 plus years. I'm not going to say exactly how many 40 are on the end of that 40.
I'm just going to say that your beard is becoming as white as my beard.
Yeah.
Rapidly.
And it's going to get even wider in a couple months. But anyway, if you're looking for a quality cup of coffee, check out Viridian Coffee. They're opening up a location, like we said, here in our neck of the woods, Lawton, Duncan. Buy local, pay local. Small business Saturday isn't just a Saturday. It's every single day you get a chance to go in, make those relationships, see who's in your neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Give back.
But this has been the Only an OK Show. I am Harley.
I'm Brett.
And we're out of here.
Peace.
I already did your job once. Dude, if I don't have some outtakes on that other show...
You do. And
Okay,
there's
I'll
one.
stab you in the face, dude.
I intentionally took the whole section out. I was this close to fixing it because I know that I'm the last line of defense. Once I edit it, you don't do shit to it besides truncate silence and go because we've had some slide through. So I was thinking maybe if I leave the part where you couldn't say, what was the word? You were like,
I don't remember what the word was, but I distinctly remember the...
you're like, why can't I say as? I'm like, so there's some outtakes.
Good.
Leave it up to my man over there.
3, 2, 1.